You know what? My truest thought on this is that I think that trans women have a more beautiful understanding what womanhood is.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Why is the entire internet transphobic right now?
Ain't that a damn good question? Let's look at some of these internet clips and find out exactly what the consensus is.
And don't ever call me a cis woman, because this feels like a slur at this point. I'm a woman, okay? A goddess. I've given life. I have a uterus, a womb, a menstrual cycle. I birthed a child. I'm a woman.
Motherfuckers be like, being a woman is more than just having babies, and then go and say you're a woman because you can have babies. Ain't that some shit? Imagine minimizing your womanhood to what your organs can do. Pretty objectifying and silly if you ask me, especially considering not all women have those abilities. Pretty exclusionary. Maybe we should take your For the Girls card.
Boy, I know y'all not from the old school. Y'all ain't got no grannies or nothing contributing to what y'all got going on. I had to just Google just now, what the is a cis woman?
Oh, she got us there. Somebody, quick, get me an old, ignorant, stubborn, poorly educated, opinionated, irrational old person so I can accurately understand the ever-changing world around me. Please, they sound like the perfect person to educate me on current world affairs. Please, I really need the approval of this young lady who didn't even know the term she's about to form a loud opinion on 5 seconds after learning it through a brief Google AI overview. Social media will facilitate the end of us all.
Now, don't nobody give a about who y'all kiss and cuddle on, but come on, when does it end? I seen a marry the number 50 the other day. Like, I just want to know, where does it stop? And God, why did you leave me down here? I just feel like y'all wasn't told no enough as a child. No, you can't do that. No, you can't have that. It builds character, and I think that's what y'all were missing.
Kissing and cut. Why are you even talking about that? See, that tells me you don't understand what cis actually means. And I'll tell you when it'll stop. It'll stop when you ignorant people stop coming on and making a fuss about shit that doesn't matter and doesn't affect you just because you want to play victim. That's when it'll stop. It'll stop when you stop purposefully being obtuse just because you don't want to educate yourself because you're too lazy. That's when it'll stop. Hey, but do you know what did stop? See, I heard you mention God. What stopped was the hearts of millions of babies across the globe when God washed the entire earth with a flood. Their hearts stopped because they drowned. That's the God you believe in, that you think is good, and yet you're upset at the word cis? We have a murderous predator as a president who shares in your values, your Christian values. And he hasn't released the Epstein files yet. But let's turn our attention to trans women. I mean, they're the bigger issue, obviously. They want to call you a medical term that's been used for decades. And get this, it means that your gender aligns with your sex assigned at birth. Wow, that's a slur right there. Hey, isn't that what you are, though? Just hurt my feelings saying it. Oh, you mentioned God earlier, and you mentioned how he left you here. I wish he would take you back. What's going on? My name is DOKUDEE, and today we gonna be talking about TERFs. We gonna be talking about this transphobic discourse on TikTok. We gonna be talking about it all. So for those of y'all that don't know, a video resurfaced of, I don't know how to say her last name, Drew Afafulo, sorry to butcher that. She had a video in which another guest was on, and they had said that they believe that trans women have a more beautiful understanding of womanhood than cis women. And so this pissed a lot of cis women off, and thus has opened up a whole new box, or maybe not new, because they were probably always there, of TERFs. TERF, if you don't know, stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminists. The term TERF was originally used to distinguish transgender inclusive feminists from a group of radical feminists who reject the position that trans women are in fact women, reject the inclusion of trans women in women's spaces, and oppose transgender rights legislation. But before we dive into why being a TERF is some stupid ass shit to do, I want to tell you, from my perspective, that video from Drew Afafulo pissed me off too. But it didn't piss me off because of what was said. No. It pissed me off because of the floodgates it opened. Because a lot of you allies, quote unquote, seem to think that when you disagree with a trans person, it's suddenly okay to start misgendering the trans person and validating the identity of a trans person. A lot of you think that when a trans person commits a crime, does anything that is not acceptable under your purview, it's then okay to start calling them outside of their identity. When a man commits a crime, we don't start calling him a her do we? When you disagree with a man, you don't start calling him a her, do you? So if you can understand how that does not change that a man, a cis man in front of you, their identity, their gender identity doesn't suddenly change because you disagree with them, you should understand that the same is true for trans people. This is not some fucking gift we give to them. This is real. When you disagree with someone you see as a cis woman or a woman or whatever you want to call it, you don't start calling them and seeing them legitimately as a he. It's the same thing vice versa. We don't want your tolerance, nigga. You're not an ally if you're simply tolerating trans people up until they piss you off. You're fucking stupid. Now, as for my opinion on the whole Drew thing with the cisgender womanhood isn't as beautiful as transgender womanhood, I personally wouldn't put one thing over the other. I think they're both valid. I think they both deliver different experiences, struggles, and hardships, and good things and bad things, etc., etc. I don't think one should be put down over the other, and I definitely don't think that trans women should be getting invalidated just because a lot of you are offended by what was said or by what some people think. You were never an ally if the moment they get on your nerves, they piss you off or they challenge you in any way, you start invalidating their identity. You always thought that way. It's just that simple. Now for why I think being a TERF is so stupid. I think being a TERF is so stupid because in some way, shape, or form, you have to engage with the idea that part of your biology, the things your body can do, is at least partial to why you're a woman and they are not. Except not all women are able to do everything that some women are able to do. Not all women want to do what some other women want to do. Like not all women have XX chromosomes because of Swyer syndrome. Some women can be born with XY chromosomes. Not all women can give birth. Not all women have uteruses. Not all women have menstrual cycles. Women grow old enough to the point where they eventually stop getting their menstrual cycle. There's so many things and exceptions when it comes to female development that trying to tie it into being a woman, you end up excluding other women who you would consider women under your worldview. And that's the problem with relying on grandma for your fucking information about transgender people, cisgender people, female development, is that your grandma doesn't fucking care and doesn't fucking know about any of these things. They give you a very basic and ignorant understanding of these things from a fucking 5th grade level of understanding. Some of you niggas have to get comfortable with understanding you don't fucking know what you're talking about. So you need to go search it up. That the world as you understand it isn't this black and white, yes or no, easy fucking unnuanced thing. You have to think a little bit to understand what the fuck you're talking about. Lucky you and I, we live in an age where we don't have to be scientists. We don't have to be the ones conducting the experiments. They post their studies, they post their research. You can get different opinions and you can figure out what the medical standard is and what's understood is right and what's wrong scientifically. But a lot of you niggas don't want to do that because a lot of you niggas are lazy, ignorant, and frankly, really, really fucking annoying. Because you come on platforms and you talk like you know what the fuck you're talking about, and you don't. And it's pathetic because you have every resource available to figure that shit out, but you don't. Because at the end of the day, you're hateful, lazy, ignorant, and stupid. A lot of people are too stubborn to just admit they don't know what they're talking about. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. There's something wrong with being wrong and being okay with it and being loud about it. And there's other reasons why TERFs are stupid, like attributing your womanhood to your body just opens so many pathways for men and women alike to objectify you based off what your body can do. When you attribute your experience as a woman based off what your body can do, you take attention from the fact that women are societally oppressed and remain that way. You start infighting with other women, and for what? And to wrap this up, for those who don't like being called cis, I'm gonna keep calling you cis. I hope everybody else keeps calling you cis. You are cis. A lot of you are so narrow-minded that you think cis is a slur and it's a recent thing and it's not. You don't understand that the word cis predates you and I, right? It's a medical term and it just means that your sex aligns with your gender. That's literally it. If you have a problem with that, if you still think cis is a slur, it's because you think trans is a slur, right? You think being trans is a bad thing. And so you think being called cis somehow makes you not a woman. Both cis women and trans women are women. You're cis. Get over that shit, nigga. I don't know what else to tell you. Motherfuckers be like, don't call me cis. And then you let that raggedy, dirty ass nigga call you a B word. His B word. Ain't that some shit? But anyway, this creator put it in a way that I really like. Shout outs to her. I'm gonna play the clip now.
I am not a cis woman. Don't call me a cis woman. I identify as a woman because that's what I was born as. I have a vagina. That's literally what y'all sound like. Before you type that in somebody else's comment section, do me a favor, take a quick little jaunt over to our old friend Google, tippity type on that keyboard, what does cisgender mean? When you get that definition and it literally lines up with exactly how you just described yourself, dead that shit. Because you are in fact a cis woman and you're giving me a fucking headache.
Couldn't have said it better myself, but with that, that's going to be the end of this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do all those wonderful, beautiful things. I would really appreciate that. Hype the video if you're on mobile. If you want to take an extra step and support me a little bit more to make sure I can do this more often, someday full time, hopefully soon, right? You can join my membership. Memberships start at $1. You can get things like bonus content where I'm focusing more on art as opposed to social topics. I keep that on my members only content, right? And early content, I'm gonna start doing early content. You'll get videos early access. But with that, another exhausting topic down. That's gonna have to be the end of this video. Make sure you like, bro, I was gonna repeat the same shit. I'm telling you, I'm tired, bro. Anyways, the drawing has a little bit to go. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comments too. I'm gonna see y'all niggas later. Peace.
Okay.
Streaking lights.